And we're back. I know we said we wouldn't do this again, but deja vu, here we are.
We're back to talk about more Star Trek Picard. It always starts out good.
That's the trick, isn't it?
Hit it, Johnny.
I guess, spoiler, it started out good, but didn't I say that about last season?
We said we wouldn't be back. Seasons 1 and 2 were a literal nightmare.
A fever dream, a fever nightmare.
Yeah. Something you just want to forget about, like a past traumatic incident that you want like a therapist to help you bury.
I'm having the strangest memory.
But here we have season 3 of Picard, and almost predictably after season 2, they made a very smart and sharp course correction into dumping half that cast. Nothing against those actors, Captain Rios, Alison Girardi, our favorite Elnor.
Oh God, I forgot Elnor existed. I literally forgot Elnor existed. I was gonna say not half the cast. We still got Raffi and Seven, but yeah, Elnor's a thing.
Elnor, and don't forget about Isa Brones, who played the robot girl.
Oh, I forgot she existed.
She didn't have a huge part in season 2, but she was the focus of season 1. Her and her twin sister, remember?
I was just thinking Rios and Girardi are gone, but you're right.
There was a cast.
You're right, there was a cast.
There was a cast. They wanted Picard and a bunch of misfits, I guess, to fly around the galaxy and have non-Starfleet-esque adventures. And everyone's like, no. So Star Trek Picard Season 1, let's test our memory. Captain Picard has to go on a mission, and the Starfleet Admiral tells him to go f*** himself.
Yes.
He finds a ship piloted by drunken Captain Rios, a Starfleet reject, who quit Starfleet because he watched his captain murder benevolent androids because he was given an order to. They find Dr. Alison Girardi, who murders the guy from Measure of the Man, Bruce Maddox, and And then there's something about androids. They're trying to find the mystery of the twin androids.
The Romulan psychic women cult has an artifact that's a beacon that androids can broadcast to the android dimension, where androids will come into our reality and murder everybody.
So there's a
and so we need to murder all androids.
Yes, there's a Manson cult, a Hale-Bopp comic cult that lives on a hippie planet made of androids, run by Noonien Soong's great grandson, And he's telling the androids that we can have, the universe can be a great place. We just have to eliminate all life forms that aren't synthetic. And then there's Romulans and a Borg cube. And then we meet Hugh is in it.
Why?
That's season 1.
Yeah,
Yes. And then there's some battling. That the Elnor has a sword, and there's some fighting. And then there's one-dimensional villain lady who is in love with her own brother.
Who may actually be the worst villain ever written. Is that like a literal fact? Is she the worst villain ever written?
She's pretty one-dimensional. And then
That's giving her too many dimensions, Mike.
Then at the end, Picard is dead because they go up and the androids have released hippie space flowers into space that battle Romulan fleet. And then Picard dies of a heart-related condition, and then they bring him down to the planet, and then they save him by resurrecting him in synthetic life form. But still make him an old man with a limit of age to where he'll die at his normal life-death age.
It's telling that this took us like 15 minutes to give the summary.
I'm surprised I remember
what
as much as I
happened.
did.
Yeah.
Then season 2 was the first contact kind of Borg thing where Borgs went back in time and changed the past to turn the Federation into like almost like a mirror universe where everyone's evil. It's like it's not quite that.
It's fascist humanity.
But yeah, they don't call it the what do they call it in the mirror universe?
Oh God.
Terran Empire.
Terran Empire. I think it's just the Terran Empire.
Oh, and then they crash land the ship at Picard's vineyard, which is now run down. The opening is Picard wakes up in his chateau, and he's got all the skulls of all of his conquered victims. He's like an evil general.
Yeah.
He's killed Gul Dukat and all the famous skulls.
And he misses his mummy.
And his mummy.
His mummy. His mummy has mental problems and kills herself. And this traumatizes a young Picard.
Yes. And then Picard famously, at the end, says, "My mother hung herself."
My mother hung herself here in this place.
Anyway, we recapped seasons 1 and 2 of Picard.
And none of it seems to matter.
And we didn't even talk about Guinan and her 10 forward bar.
Her shotgun.
And her shotgun, her nasty 10 forward bar.
Oh, and her magic Q summoning bottle.
Her magic summoning bottle that shakes the room because she.
And how inbred are the Sung family? How inbred must they be?
They all look the same.
Yeah.
And there's never a wife around that has, or let's say a maternal figure, grandmother, mother, grandparent, who has apparently progenized these offsprings.
Is it canon that the Sungs are continually cloning themselves?
It should be. That would make sense.
They clone themselves. That's why all their descendants are identical, and they're so narcissistic. Even their androids have to look exactly the same too. Is this canon?
Well, see, that's the thing is, the slate can be wiped relatively clean. I don't know if you can retcon the idea that Picard is an android.
I see.
It was never brought up in the first episode, and that's what we're here to talk about today, is the first episode. And you may have noticed that our thumbnail for this episode is us looking relatively happy. And the thumbnails for previous Star Trek Picards just degrade and get worse and worse and worse. Hopefully that won't happen.
Hopefully, you say hopefully, but that's been the pattern with New Trek, is when you do your season-long mystery arcs, and it's okay early on when the story still might go somewhere, but then it never does. But I can't make that judgment on season 3 yet. We've got 1 episode in the can, and so far I'm okay with it.
It's like starting up your car for a cross-country road trip. We're driving from Milwaukee to California. What could happen? Could go real smoothly. You could have a great time. You listen to Life is a Highway. You have a great drive. Stop at a couple of cool places. Have a nice couple nights in some hotels along the way, and then arrive safely at your destination. Or much worse things can happen.
Flat tire during a rainstorm in front of a spooky mansion. And the trip goes bad real quick.
Parking lot robbery, food poisoning, encounter inclement weather, death.
Are you enjoying this? Of course not. Are you?
This season feels really special.
So, Rich, what do you know about Star Trek Picard Season 3 so far, from behind-the-scenes perspectives?
Like, I have not followed anything closely.
Well, I think the most noteworthy thing is a new showrunner. He's the showrunner. He wrote the first episode, presumably other episodes, I don't know yet. But I know the specter, the looming evil specter of Kurtzman, Goldsman, and all the previous producers, while on the credits, I'm pretty sure they're not involved, or at least I hope they're not.
I think it'll become quickly obvious whether or not they're involved if, like, the subsequent episodes, if, like, the story goes nowhere and just rambles and ends in a car wreck. Then we'll know they're all still involved.
Yes.
But as it is, it does feel like they've gone in a new direction because they're, at least episode 1, they're doing something very specific. And what episode 1 is Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, the TV series.
Yes. Yes, there is a very obvious inspiration for both Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock and Undiscovered Country.
Now, at this point, I kind of know I will never get my beloved Star Trek TV series back, where a bunch of competent explorers encounter ethical dilemmas and interesting scientific phenomena. I know that's dead, but I'll accept it if I can get Star Trek the Motion Pictures back. That's something.
That's the point I wanted to make, is that I think we had like a horrific allergic reaction to Star Trek Picard seasons 1 and 2, because we're just like, it's so antithetical of what Next Gen was, where it was like, you know, obviously it's now pointless to even try to argue for episodic storylines, even though I guess they happen in Brave New World. I don't give a fuck. It's like, that's done. That kind of storytelling's done. It's a whole season arc. Now, my particular view on this is the original series was obviously episodic. Kirk, Spock, McCoy.
Yeah.
Episodic. When they got to movies, with the exception of Star Trek the Motion Picture, which was one big, long episode of Star Trek.
And I actually like it quite a bit.
Yes, of course.
I so wanted to be on the review for that. But
That's fine. Maybe we could do another one where we talk about it again.
It's fine.
I'm sorry I didn't invite you for that.
It's okay.
But then once you hit Star Trek 2, then it becomes a whole different beast.
Yeah.
It's
Operatic.
Wrath of Khan is not my favorite. Surprisingly, everyone loves Wrath of Khan. I think it's pretty good. I don't love it, but it's a fun movie. And I think in my head, the series, the old Star Trek shows, even up to Voyager, were all sort of like lower budgeted shows. They had the one set. They couldn't do a lot with visual effects that weren't expensive at the time. So they wrote smaller scale stories, ones that just took place on the ship only. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk in this room now. We're going to go talk in this room. And from an intellectual standpoint, that's what made them fascinating, because the writers were forced to write good stories that focused mostly on dialogue and theoretical problems, dilemmas or moral conflicts or whatever, ethical conflicts.
What the added constraint is you just can't have the crew members yelling at each other.
Sure, there's that, but then you can't also just have, like, they squeezed in their fair amount of action and space battles and whatnot as often as they could, but they were doing 27 episodes in a season, shooting quickly, efficiently, trying to save money on budget, making a big, long show. And then this is 10 episodes, and it's basically now, I've transitioned it into thinking of it as a movie. This feels like the start of a proper Star Trek The Next Generation feature film.
Which we never really got either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Star Trek Generations was a soiled diaper. Star Trek...
Everyone loves First Contact, but I just think that movie is so fucking stupid.
It's a dumb action movie. Star Trek Insurrection is the closest thing to a two-parter TNG movie.
Yeah.
And then you get to Nemesis, which was just a big downer. And then they're like, well, the one thing about Star Trek Insurrection is that it wasn't like a revenge plot. Like, I'm bad guy who wants revenge. And that's just getting so tiring. And that's the one thing that has me nervous about this, is Amanda Plummer is the villain. And I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
She's the daughter of Christopher Plummer,
Okay.
who recently passed away. He played the bald Klingon villain in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. He's a famous actor who's been in a million other things.
Yeah.
But that's who he is. So Amanda Plummer's in this, and she's got like a Ed Grimley haircut, and she's got a scar on her face, and she looks like Frau Farbissina from I'm like, that's her villain?
I haven't seen this yet.
It's in the trailer. But the feature films were always about fun and adventure. And the interesting thing is, in my opinion, Kirk, Bones, Spock, they transferred over to the films seamlessly. They didn't feel like different characters. Mm-hmm. You could, Uhura, Chekhov, Sulu, Scotty, they're all the same characters. But all of them really transferred over to the feature films.
Kirk lends himself well to being an action hero.
Yes.
Picard does not, which is why, probably smartly, they have instantly teamed him up with Riker, who was basically Kirk, but a second officer.
Yeah, when it came time for the TNG films, none of those characters really felt right in sort of action roles, with, I guess, the exception of Worf.
Yeah.
Who took out a purple space bazooka for some reason.
No, man. We talk about episode. I want to talk about like just the visual things.
Okay, let's get into Star Trek Picard season 3, episode 1. It starts off, and I think it says, what's the first line? It's like,
I just remember it started off like the Shawshank Redemption. Was it the same music as the start of the Shawshank Redemption?
What the f are you talking about?
They got that gramophone music going on.
I don't want to set.
Oh, yeah.
Picard's listening to a space gramophone because it's got blue lights on it.
Well, that's in his house.
Yeah.
But they do play the old-timey song, I want to start the world on fire. It's playing in space as they come into the Beverly Crusher's spacecraft. She's playing a Picard playlist that he made for her of old-timey songs. Picard, coincidentally, is also playing that in his chateau.
Okay.
But the credits look very Wrath of Khan. It's got that starfield that's moving. I think it says in the 23rd century but the font, the look of the starfield slowly moving is very retro. And then we see Beverly Crusher on a very small starship called the Helios, which I'll talk about in a minute, because I wanted to talk about the inconsistency of the size of their shuttlecraft that attaches to the back of the Helios to the size of the Helios bridge. It was weird. The Helios looks like a full-size starship, and then you can even see the bridge dome, and there's little windows in it. And then their shuttlecraft, which is a small, it's like a Type 9 shuttlecraft from like Voyager. It's very small, and it attaches to the back. And then the bridge is like this big, and the shuttlecraft's like this big. And I was like, that bridge could fit. It's like the size of a porta-john. I was very confused, but I guess that's just Beverly Crusher's small private starship, apparently.
Yeah.
But she's rocking the Kirk Wrath of Khan jacket.
It's got like the white collar thing going on.
Kirk's got the red one with the big white open collar, like 70s style, and Beverly Crusher's wearing that, so I was like that. She's on a ship, and there's the camera pans around a bunch of member berries. There's a lot of that in this. Mm-hmm. They're really trying to really make you feel that next gen vibe as hard and as much as they can in this horribly ugly and dark and depressing world of New Trek.
It's not a next gen vibe. They're totally going for that kind of early motion picture Star Trek vibe.
Let's call it a blend. It pans around, and we see the first thing they show is like a deep cut member berry, and it's plants. It's a plant, and it's the exact same kind of plant that Beverly Crusher was pruning in the episode where the ship explodes numerous times, and that's she's like pruning this special plant when she hears all the voices coming. She thinks it's like a communications error, so they show that. So she's like still pruning that same kind of plant. Then they pan over. There's some kind of award. I couldn't read the name on it, but then it has a suitcase that says Jack Crusher's belongings. And I'm like, okay. And for some reason, the Picard Best of Both Worlds thing's playing on a computer monitor.
I thought that was weird.
I don't know what that was about. It might have to tie in with Halberd and the communications.
This word, Halberd, I have no idea what it means.
Which comes up later.
We'll see.
You remember the secret.
The code, the encoding we had to encode.
The virus,
you don't know about it because you weren't with us at the time.
Yeah, the Borg put in a code into the Enterprise computer systems that added a random 3 into all the numbers to screw up their navigations. So maybe she was watching that to download that code to prepare her. I don't know. Or it was just, hey, remember Best of Both Worlds? What a great time!
And then we learned that the stun setting on her phaser is broken.
Does it say that?
No, I just thought, like they're going for the motion, they're going for the movie vibe. I get it. So it's just instant vaporization, but come on, she's a doctor.
I think they were they referenced that. Riker's like, look, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah.
It looks like a spontaneous human combustion victim. It vaporized to ash, and Picard's like, Beverly would only do that if she felt like she was in real danger, and clearly she's fucking terrified when the bird monsters board the ship, because they mean business. So she locks her son away, who we later learn is her son, behind a wall to protect him, and she starts doing the phaser thing, and then the birds, I guess, don't finish her off. They just leave. I don't know what happens.
Which is another Wrath of Khan thing. Here's the son you didn't know you had. That's the tease. It may not actually end up being Picard's son, but the tease is, look, Picard, you got a son you didn't know about.
Well, that actor, his name's Ed Spielers. British guy who was on Downton Abbey and a bunch of other stuff, but on IMDb his name doesn't have a character credit, so it's still mystery.
Yeah.
I have a theory, given that we saw the Jack Crusher thing. I think he's a clone of Jack Crusher. Kind of looks like the actor that played him in the Wesley Holodeck Experience.
That's a very interesting theory.
I mean, it's a little weird.
It's just it's an interesting idea. I don't know. I didn't.
Like, why show the Jack Crusher luggage unless she was pulling DNA from it?
Just this is Crusher's space. She's got his look. She's got his stuff.
It could be
That's
a son.
how I interpreted that.
It could be a son from a different. Why would she still have Jack Crusher's stuff?
Because
It's her private starship.
there's things they know about
Who
Beverly
gets a
Crusher.
private starship?
Beverly Crusher, apparently. She's become violent and evil. Maybe she
She's
stole
not
it.
evil. She's doing some kind of research, but it's so dark she can't see what research she's doing. So she accidentally cloned her dead husband. That's just a guess. Our guesses usually are wrong with this because it just goes off the fucking rails.
Right, right.
Okay, so then let's move on.
Chateau Picard.
We go to Chateau Picard. He's packing up member berries to put in a museum. They're really harping on the Enterprise D, which is fine. That seems a little fan servicey. I'm okay with that. They show the Enterprise D painting, the famous one that hung in his ready room, and then there's Riker's at a bar, and there's a bunch of. It's like Fleet Week.
Frontier Day.
Frontier Day, and then there's like little tokens of Enterprise D, and nobody wants them. They keep talking about Enterprise D. Picard in Next Gen times was in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
He was in charge of the starship. He was a very guarded man. He didn't let his feelings out. He didn't let people in very often. And there was this very specific way that he would speak and give orders and all that. When I watched the first 2 seasons of Picard, I was like, he's too like wistful and emotional, and it doesn't feel right. And with this, it feels like a better balance was struck between what he was 40 years ago now, and what he is at 85.
Larry, these things from my past, they're so dear to me. They're mementos of dear friends.
What we leave behind is not as important as how we've lived.
I am not a man who needs a legacy.
But I took some comfort from the fact that the family would go on. But now there'll be no more Picards.
People change over long periods of time, and maybe he did become a little bit more wistful and emotional or
I'm fine with his-
retrospective, I guess.
I'm fine with his character changing. I think the problem with me, though, is just when he says his lines, it's not even that they sound wistful, they just sound kind of flat.
Okay. But, I mean, the acting part's fine.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's like, there was one line that he said, Laris is asking him about his relationship with Crusher, right? She's like, yeah, Dr. Crusher, Beverly Crusher, yes, you tried to have a relationship with her. And then he says, tried is the operative word.
Tried is the operative word.
That sounded Picard. I could just hear him saying that as a younger man.
Yeah.
Kind of like just giving a little bit, but kind of being clinical or cold about it. Instead, seasons 2 or 1, Picard would have said, we were connected in a way I've never been connected with another person before.
But in the drifts of time, sometimes these souls do part swiftly and softly.
And softly,
But
and
lest we not forget the times we had together, for they enrich us.
our souls were intertwined, but never quite able to find the bond that we ultimately could not share within ourselves. And he goes, tried is the operative word. And it's like, that's Picard.
I'll grant you it's written better.
And so he's a little wistful. It's fine. He's old. My question is, did everybody forget about the Enterprise E?
Yes, it sucked. Did they ever say what happened to the Enterprise E?
No,
Did it just get, you know what? I'm fine if it just got quietly decommissioned.
So we left Nemesis. This is why I like the Picard-Riker relationship in season 3 of Picard. Because remember the last time we saw Riker and Marina Sirtis, a.k.a. Deanna Troi? Picard comes down to their happy pizza-making planet in the woods. Back to our discussion. Picard beams down to Happy Planet where Riker, Troy, and their daughter, Kessler?
That was Kelsey, but I could be wrong.
Kelso?
Kelso? Is it Kelso?
Something. They land down and she's like, and then, Picard's like, come here. And then they all they embrace and hugs, and it's just like love. It's I love you. And remember Picard, when Riker left for the Titan at the end of Nemesis, what'd they do?
Yes, it was very cold.
They shook
Good
hands.
luck, shook hands. Good luck on your endeavors.
Right. And so we are led to believe that the adventures on the Enterprise E were going to continue on. B4 was there. The things are getting back up and moving on. So Picard, in his 45-year career in Starfleet, was aboard the Enterprise D for maybe about 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
He was on the Stargazer. He served on this ship. Blah 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 blah. So sure, maybe those were some of the best years. But when the Enterprise D crash landed, as we remember in Generations, it was just like let me grab my family album and beam out of here. Just kick the dirt around the glass, the broken glass, and it's like let's get out of here, and they'd just leave it there on the planet. He didn't care. It was very much the opposite of when Kirk watched the original Enterprise burn up in the atmosphere in Star Trek III. What have I done, Bones? Heartbreaking and emotional. What have I done, Bones? You did what you had to do.
What you always do.
What you always do.
You give us a fighting chance in the face of death.
Turn death into a fighting chance to live.
Turn death into a fighting chance to live.
And then there's beautiful music playing as the Enterprise just burns up. And that's the original OG Enterprise and
That broke my heart as a child.
Kirk loved his ship. Picard found the ship as a means to an end. It was a thing to him. You never got the sense in Next Gen that he had an emotional bond to it. The audience does. Picard doesn't.
Yeah.
Picard should have said, "Oh, that painting. Lovely painting. Riker crashed it on a planet." But let me tell you about the Enterprise E that I commanded. What a ship that was.
He doesn't seem that wistful in this episode. He's getting ready to give the damn thing to Geordi.
A little bit. The show presents it.
Doesn't he say, I served on a lot of ships, but for some reason this is the one people remember?
No, she says that was your first command. He's like, well, it wasn't my first, but it was the best.
Oh, yeah, he does. You're right.
Well, she wasn't the first, but she was certainly my favorite.
And
You're right.
And then the camera pans like longingly over the painting, and the show treats it with the reverence the audience has for the ship, not so much the character. But that's okay. I'm gonna give that a pass. It becomes Trek 2/Trek 3. We have a different person doing the score. The old Jeff Russo, the old score guy, I think is out. Mm-hmm. There's a new guy doing it. It's weaving in themes, which I'm sure you've heard and recognized the themes from the movies, the motion pictures. That sense of adventure and excitement is there.
But he's Jean-Luc Picard, and if he wants to go on one more mission, that's what we're going to do.
So Picard gets a secret coded message that's sent directly to his TNG comm badge. in his like stowed away in his suitcase. And then so he's like, it's from Beverly Crusher, and she says, trust no one. But there's a secret code he has to decode it with. He trusts Riker. Meets Riker in a bar. They don't hug.
Appropriately.
He calls him Jean-Luc, which is okay, because they've grown up. They're old men now.
Yeah.
He's not his subordinate. He can call him Jean-Luc. And the adventure begins. They have to get to a place to help Beverly Crusher.
And Starfleet can't know about it because trust nobody.
Trust no one. It's got shades of conspiracy, the creatures in the mouth episode.
Once again, though, we have an evil Starfleet, which is annoying.
Presumably.
But as long as they can give me something as entertaining as the old Star Trek movies, I'll still be okay.
Well, the only evil Starfleet that's recognized or personified is Captain Shaw.
He's not even evil.
No, and it's fine because I actually really like him.
He's like Captain Jellicoe. I was gonna say 2.0. I guess he's like Captain Jellicoe 2.0.
Get it done.
He's just doing his fucking job, and these two assholes have gone on a ship trying to get him to change his ways. And no, it's my ship.
And I will really like Captain Shaw if he becomes a Captain Jellicoe. If he's a hard ass who's mean, he's very, very belittling and rude to them, but he runs a tight ship. And in the end, if he becomes like a neutral good guy where he does the right thing, he helps them out.
Just a good guy whose methods are different.
Yes, when he realizes that there is an actual threat and Picard and Riker were correct or whatever, he helps out and he becomes a Captain Jellicoe who just had different methods of doing things, but in the end he was right.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I would like for Shaw to have a complex depth to his character. They get in a little space pod and they travel up to the beautiful space dock that
we see in the motion pictures. I mean, they use that a bunch of times after that.
Sure.
But it's definitely a reference to
their subversion or their secret mission is very similar to Kirk and crew stealing the Enterprise in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock.
Yeah.
And it's
in fact, the ship itself. Did you catch the name of the Titan refit?
No, Titan A.
No, well, it might be the A, but they're calling it
Constitution.
The name of the refit, the class of the ship is now the Neo-Constitution.
Yeah.
Which, here's the saucer section. It's basically the motion picture Enterprise.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's a Neo-Constitution class.
Yeah. Lots of references to the movies, specifically.
And yes, we meet LaForge, the daughter of Geordi LaForge.
Is she the daughter, or is she possibly the granddaughter at this point?
No, Geordi's not that old.
Okay.
But in real life, that's LeVar Burton's real daughter.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, her name's like Micah? Micah Burton.
That's a neat detail, I will say.
And her name's Sydney LaForge, which is also a member berry because in All Good Things, how's Sydney?
Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah. Well, they're not so little anymore.
How long has it been?
Close to 25 years.
25 years.
It'd be very interesting to side by side. I'm sure someone's done it on the internet, but side by side, I'm gonna do it myself. Side by side, how they look now, and how they made them look, because it's almost exactly age appropriate, time appropriate. How they made them look as older people in the last episode of Next Gen, and how they look now as actual older people. I think it's pretty close. It doesn't look as bad as when Kirk got old in the original series. Do you remember that?
The technology they were working with wasn't quite as
Bones
good.
looked
Makeup.
okay, but Kirk did turn into a big bloated space balloon.
As neat as what it is that LaForge's daughters are, it's starting to feel like a really small universe. Oh, Seven, there you are. Oh, look, Raffi's involved in this adventure. It's all the small number of people we know.
But
They're just around here.
it's a show, and you know, you got they brought back Seven and Raffi. I'm okay because Raffi's doing like some kind of spy mission. Should mention that.
It's something I'll forgive if the rest of the season is good.
Sure. Yeah, I don't mind that because there was oh yeah, they did the same thing in Generations. I think Sulu's daughter was the helmsman on Cameron Fry's Enterprise B.
Yep. Yep.
So there's a you don't want to reference Generations ever, but it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to do, and it's neat in real life that that's his actual daughter. They leave space dock, and I love it. I realize I'm probably being emotionally manipulated.
Don't you care that he's manipulating you?
I'm smart enough to realize that, but I'm okay with it because all the next gen films were just
Trash.
not very good. And if I were to jump from All Good Things to this,
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
I'd be like, hey, this is great. What has everybody been up to for the last 48 years? I'm into it. And that shot, the Constitution hull, like, and the Titan looks nice, and it's leaving the space dock, and you got that music, and you know when you leave the space dock, adventure awaits. It's Star Trek 3, it's Star Trek 6. I seen Star Trek 6 in the movie theaters, 91. I saw it like 5 or 6 times in the Dollar Show. I would watch it all the time in the Dollar Show. And there's a shot where they depart space dock. Captain Kirk says to Valeris, Spock's protege, let's depart space dock, you know. And it's a dun, 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 na, 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 na. But they have the shot. It's a POV shot, and the ship goes through the dock, right? Mm-hmm. Small screen, not so great. Big screen, it gave me chills. Da, na, 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 and you're into open space. It was exciting because you know you're going off on an adventure. And an interesting note about that, it's the very first clue that Kim Cattrall, Lieutenant Valeris, is the conspirator.
Which part was the clue?
When they pilot the ship right out of space dock. You know why?
Why?
Because they cut to her, and she looks like emotional. She has an air of wonderment and awe to her, as she almost looks like this is amazing. I can't believe I'm witnessing this. Like, this is awesome. Like, just teeny bit. And it's like, I know you're a young Vulcan, but this is your response to that. But she looks like,
Mike?
I await the adventure. And you're like, there's something wrong with that, Vulcan.
Mike, I bow to you. You are the superior Trekkie for catching that.
Thank you.
I never would have thought of that.
It's a repeat viewing kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, in hindsight. I don't want to spoil Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country for anyone, but yeah, it's the subtlety of the direction, Nicholas Meyer's direction of just instead of cut. And I was looking for that in this, and I didn't find it. I just found like crew members just kind of like pressing buttons. So that's okay, but I love that opening, and they go on the adventure, and I really, really like the scene when they first go to dinner with Shaw. And he started eating before them, you know, like breaking all sorts of politeness protocols.
Yeah.
And Picard
Which
says,
is funny because he's super anal about everything else. So he's just doing that to disrespect Picard and Riker, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. He's very rude to them. He insults Picard's gift, the wine. He's like, I'm a Malbec man, but thank you.
Oh, and Riker, by the way, I hate your fucking music.
Yes, yes.
For no good reason.
Well, he's like, I had to purge the system of all your sloppy jazz music. I prefer tempo and rhythm and order, you know. You're a little freewheeling, loosey-goosey, hippy-dippy Riker. And then he has a dark, deep, dark shot below the belt at Picard about the Borg.
Former ex-Borg. That's enough, Captain.
Which is like, come on.
I know.
Give the guy a break.
I know.
It wasn't his fucking fault. But I'm assuming later on we're going to learn that Shaw's whole family was killed at Wolf 359 or something like that. It was okay when Sisko...
They're going to Benjamin Sisko that up?
Yeah, it was okay when Sisko did it because it was like a week later. You know? I think 3 years, 2 years, whatever.
I think Picard saved the galaxy enough times since then that we can all just get beyond this.
I suspect an imminent attack. Find the Red Lady.
Do we have any speculations on the mysterious person that Raffi is texting?
No.
I did think that was neat, the mystery aspect of refusing to have a voice or video communication.
Sure.
So it's gonna have to be somebody we know, right? Is it gonna be Elnor?
Elnor, I told you to stay on the ship.
Yes. I didn't listen.
No, they're all fired.
It's gonna be Elnor, Mike. This is, remember, as happy as we've been, this is a Picard episode.
You know what probably is going to be Lore.
You're right, because they have to work Brent Spiner into this.
I know Lore is in it. Brent Spiner's playing Lore, and he's probably a sub-villain who's manipulating the situation.
You wanna end it? You wanna end it epic? We have we don't have a good villain really in Picard's past, except for Lore.
Well, the lady, Amanda Plummer, is supposed to be some kind of super.
That could be a fake out, or we'll think she's the villain, and then by the time you get around to like episode 4 or 5, no, whoops, it's Lore. That's a decent speculation.
This, I don't know. Amanda Plummer certainly looks pretty evil. She's got a scar on her face, and she looks really mad, and she's like, "John Luke, I'm gonna get you." But we haven't watched it any more than episode 1, and episode 1 doesn't give you a lot of information.
We haven't seen. I mean, there's a lot being forgiven just because this is episode 1, but so far, we do not have a good villain. The bird face guys.
No.
They're pretty generic.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, a giant, I guess it's not that giant because Crusher's ship is small, but that giant, blatantly evil-looking ship that warps in at the end is kind of like, eh.
Thrilling.
This is really exciting.
We are being hunted.
How very precise with your timing, Jean-Luc Picard.
There's a lot of little leads here that are very similar to seasons 1 and 2, where it can go in multiple different directions. We did the same shit last time where we speculate. But so far, the feel, this is mainly just a feelings and style kind of discussion.
Yeah, I love the Star Trek 2, 3, 4 era tone they're going with.
The tone, the music, the retro ship, the sense of adventure.
The characters kind of feel like the characters.
The characters feel closer to what Riker and Picard should be in the future. Picard is allowed to be a little nostalgic about his past.
I mean, he's up there in years. I don't know if his acting's quite as good as it was. It sounds a little flat to me.
He's an old man.
He's an old man.
He's got a little raspy old voice, and
yeah.
I'm okay with it.
They're writing him better.
I wish to God he wasn't a robot.
What?
I'm just gonna ignore that. Even if it comes up,
I'm gonna ignore
it.
You can ignore that if you want. I'm probably I gotta be honest, I'm probably the only person on the face of the earth that doesn't really bother me that much. They do crazy shit in science fiction, and so he's got a robot body. All right.
I don't know.
Whatever.
It bothers me. It's not the same Picard. It's a robot.
It's the same mind, and that's the important thing.
Is it?
Yes.
What about the soul?
This is Star Trek. There is no soul. That shit's for Star Wars. I hope the villain isn't stupid, which is why I was kind of glad when you brought up Lore, because Lore always had potential, and that character never quite lived up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they could finally do something worthy with Lore, that would be great. But it's going to be generic, angry space lady who wants revenge for something we never really saw on camera.
I hope not.
And that's going to suck.
Well, Space Lady did do one thing. Did you catch the Red Lady?
Rachel Garrett, Enterprise C? Yeah.
Okay.
I caught that instantly.
All right. Well, I didn't know. But yeah, so that was some Starfleet installation somewhere that she, presumably our villain, did some kind of thing where it pulled it down. It did like a, what is it? Who does the... Oh, Doctor Strange.
Oh, teleport.
Yeah. He does this. They made a Doctor Strange hole, collapsed the building, and then another Doctor Strange hole opened and dumped it over here, assumingly killing everyone on board. Rafi tried to stop it. She's like, "There's something bad's gonna happen. I know it. Evacuate the building." And then she watched in horror as the building was destroyed. So we know. They gave a clue. Someone knew the clue. Maybe Lore. Maybe somebody else knew the clue and transmitted it. Red Lady. And then Rafi did her spy work trying to figure out who Red Lady is and then narrowed it down to the statue honoring Rachel Garrett, a Starfleet target. So, bad gal or guy or group.
Presumably. And I haven't seen the trailer. I haven't even seen who you were saying is the bad gal yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you showed up to this discussion prepared.
It's from the trailer. I'm reviewing the episode I saw.
Okay.
I'm not reviewing the fucking trailer.
The trailer gives you some things to think about. But listen, so from here on out, I recognize that this could potentially be a story about someone or some group that wants revenge on Starfleet and will blow up things using a new technology called making Doctor Strange time portal holes and smashing things. And from here on out, I hope that's not the case, but I was happy so far. The first episode, I was glad, appreciate the restraint of not having a huge space battle, which didn't happen in the opening. The only action that we got was Dr. Crusher having a phaser fight with Birdmen.
Yeah.
We did not get a big battle. We got a threat at the end as the ship approached. End. Done with episode 1. Fine.
Here's where the bar is at. If they just have a fun space adventure that makes sense and our characters are all written in character, I will be satisfied.
I think it's incredibly satisfying.
I agree with you. And it has a good send-off at the end, akin to the last shot of All Good Things. Mm-hmm. A nice send-off. I don't know if they need to kill off any characters. I suppose it doesn't matter at this point. It'll be sad if they do. But if they have a good send-off for the TNG cast that's better than Nemesis, which ended on a downer, I'll be happy. And I can pretend that we jumped from 1994 to 2023 in terms of the Next Generation canon timeline.
Yeah.
We'll ignore all the feature films. We'll just say the Enterprise was quietly decommissioned.
And especially seasons 1 and 2 of
the Enterprise
Picard.
D is in a fleet museum where little kids are going on tours for their school, looking at where Captain Picard sat for all of the adventures of Enterprise D. And I'll be happy.
Thrilling.
Just pretending. What do they call it? Headcanon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just eliminate all those features. There's some good things about the features, but they're not good.
You'll edit out of your head 25 years worth of worthless content?
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always felt like there wanted to be one more movie after Nemesis, and wrap up a sort of the next gen's version of Undiscovered Country.
So, Rich, when we return, I don't know if we're going to do 2 episodes or 3 episodes.
2 or 3. We'll do it in chunks.
In chunks, yeah. Because when you get past, like, 2 or 3 episodes, then it becomes too much to talk about in one
Probably going to
show.
say repetitive shit.
Yeah, so
not have much to say about one episode.
But I think we're going to be in this for the long haul, everybody, for good or bad. Whether it goes downhill or continues to get better, we don't know yet. But we're going to give you our honest, truthful opinions about what we're watching, and with a little bit of clarity, I think, this time, because I think you and I have both become accepting, resigned of what that new Trek is dark and miserable, and every starship looks exactly the same, the bridge, which I'm not happy about. We don't get our brightly lit, colorful, comfortable Star Trek sets anymore with carpet. Everything's dark and shiny and looks like the bridge of a Star Destroyer, which I think is ugly and gross, and I don't like the look of any new Trek stuff. We're resigned with that. We're going to hope to God we get a really nice, long, next generation action-adventure movie that stays true to the characters, where the overarching plot line isn't dumb and or insulting, and it has a solid conclusion. That's the best we can hope for. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna trek through this season.
I'm gonna go fix that.
I'm gonna go home.
Thrilling.
Test 1 2. All right, man.
Hello. 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Ichi Nissan. Right? Yes.
Oh, that kills.
Yes.
That kills.
It doesn't kill. It's just showing my Nihongo Jozu.
What is that?
Nihongo Jozu.
My Nihongo Jozu.
What was that?
What do you mean? What was that?
I've only heard you say bitches doko desu ka.
No, I got a new one. I got a new one.
All right.
Mongo.
What does it mean?
That's
Translate.
not.
Translate.
I don't know.
Translate.
Mongo.
What is he saying?
Yeah. He just said.
Okay, I was like, I'm gonna ask the more fluent dude. I'm like,
yeah.
To the safe
No. He's not even trying to say that. I know what he's trying to say because
what do you think you're saying?
It's the thing. What were you saying? It's that. It's whatever he said.
What did you think it was?
I went to Golden Guy and I got drunk, and an old Japanese guy said he was a beggar for his job, and he asked me to buy him drinks because I'm a rich YouTuber, so I did. And then in exchange, he taught me a Japanese phrase.
Okay.
Mongo.
Oh, did you go back to Golden Guy?
Yeah, I did.
I was like, I don't remember this happening.
No, I went back.
And
what did he tell you that it meant?
Level 3, sorry.
Wow. Top clearance.
Yeah, level 3.
With you, I think.
Well, here's my theory.
Okay.
Go menasai means sorry.
Yes.
Mongo is a pig Latin version of gomen. Mongo, gomen, right? Anyway, Nihongo Jozu.
You're saying a very close word to something that probably people would laugh at if they heard in Japanese.
You couldn't even remember it correctly.
That's like a slang, or I mean, it's like a phrase. I mean, it's like gomen.
Oh!
You didn't even pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
You didn't even pronounce it half correctly.
I don't pronounce shit correct here, Connor, because I don't speak Japanese.
That's fine.
Do you try? Do you fucking try?
I don't like trying, but I do.
I don't think you do.
I do, but it's hard. I don't like trying.
You walked into this studio right here in front of God and all of our friends, and you said "Mushi moo."
That's because I was in a safe space garden.
This is not a safe space. Who said it? It's a lie.
It's a safe space to practice.
Just fucking be normal.
When I go to the 7-Eleven, I walk up and then they say words to me, and I go, no, because I'm assuming they're asking if I want a bag, and then I say, arigato gozaimasu. And then I walk my white ass out.
I saw a tweet, and now it makes so much more sense. Somebody tweeted out, and I thought it was like, huh. It said, Japan is Wakanda for white people. I feel like
dude,
I feel like you're now I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How many phrases did you come in armed with now? Like, what did you know coming in here? Was it like arigato, bitches, doko desu?
Yeah, I did come into those two. All right. Okay. Sumimasen.
I'd never seen Ludwig be like even like 10% flustered, but it just you in Japan, you were so much more flustered and so much more conscious.
It's stressful. The only time I'm not stressful is when I'm getting drunk. That's the only time
That's
where
the same with Japanese people.
Yeah.
I know, and that's why I've drank every single night, and my body is breaking down.
Yeah, he drank all night, and then we ate all the McDonald's menu together.
Yeah,
just a couple hours ago.
How does it compare to the American McDonald's
Just like
menu?
slightly better.
Yeah, it's like a little bit.
It's like okay, definitely not worth it.
No, it's still shitty McDonald's.
Hey guys, if you think it's
a little better than America.
It's a little better.
Yeah, but like a little. Like you're still like assigning I will be a piece of shit today. I'm gonna go to McDonald's.
He was out, bro. We literally got done with the stream. We're just like have 1,500 calories of McDonald's in our belly, and then we just like sat on his bed on our phones, silent for an hour. It's not even kidding. That's literally what we did.
I watched an isekai on TikTok.
Yeah, oh my god.
Wait. Hold up for a second.
Please,
you're gonna need to like expand on this, man.
Okay.
This is so insane.
TikTok is actually revolutionary.
Right.
All right.
So you know how there's like clips of shows on TikTok?
Yeah.
It was like you know that one Hunter song? It's like da na 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 na. It's like the Predator one.
Yeah.
It's the epic one.
The meme one.
Yeah. When someone gets caught with a D's nuts joke.
Yeah.
So it's that song, and then it's a 2-minute clip of like I got reincarnated as the strongest mage in the world.
You're gonna need to narrow it fucking down, man. That's literally every. That's
What?
literally every isekai.
Are you fucking with me?
No.
It wasn't good, but what happened is that they uploaded that 2-minute clip with that like little meme to like get you hooked into the show, and then it's the first episode distilled into 2 minutes, and then if you keep watching it, it says auto playing next episode because it's a part of a playlist, and they have 1 2-minute edit like that for every single episode in the season.
Bro.
And so I just went through the season in like half an hour.
Yeah.
This is like the new age. Watch Naruto sub 1 out of 3 on YouTube back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? Did
Yeah,
you grow up with
100%.
that?
100. Yeah, it'd be like it'd be like 7 minutes. It'd be like flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the
it's just
Zoomer
ultra
version.
compressed, and I was mad at it. I'm like, that's just why watch that in general?
Yeah.
And he's like, so I don't have to watch all of the show. It's like, well, why watch it at all?
Yeah, you don't have to watch the show.
No, because I want to be a piece of shit and scroll through TikTok, and look. If you watch an isekai, you are wasting your life. No offense.
Hey, can we
I can attest. Actually,
Isekai means.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I'm not.
Okay.
Nihongo Jozu, isekai.
I'll let him explain. He's the expert.
Yeah, you are the expert.
Actually, I want you to explain.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
No, let me see how much you understand.
Yeah, I can handle this.
Go for it.
Isekai is an anime genre that started with Sword Art Online, where you get teleported to a universe that is not your own, oftentimes as like a super strong, powerful, you get every single bitch in the world, you got a harem, you're ripped, and then you go back to your real life sometimes and it sucks.
It is Harry Potter and Isekai.
Kind of. No, we are not getting into this. I can't believe you bring this up, man. I can't believe you bring Harry Potter into this.
I feel like it's like a modern version of it.
It's not. Harry Potter is in the same world. It's all the same thing.
Isekai is way sadder than Harry Potter is.
Sword
I'll
Art
be
Online
honest.
is not the first isekai.
What is the first isekai?
There's been a lot before it.
I mean, it's dependent. Like the genre is so wide that you can call.
You can't even pick your own fights here.
This is his dog. I'm out of this. I do not watch these shows.
Sword Art Online was like the first anime that popularized the genre. But I mean, you could call Alice in Wonderland an isekai, right? Because they get transported to another world, or it's basically whenever you get transported or reborn to another world, universe, whatever. The genre definition is kind of like very broad. But now in anime, it's just a kind of genre for a lot of like trashy, very cheap anime. Power fantasies. Like, I'm wondering if there's an American kind of equivalent to isekai. What? No.
Narnia, yeah. That's a good example.
Except they're not powerful when they go. They're just fucking.
Like Narnia, but if it was marketed towards like adults.
If Narnia, but they go and then all like the snow witches want to fuck them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of the power fantasy is like sexually irresistible for these shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know weebs ain't getting as many girls as this main characters are, man.
Right, and they're like, I can be in the Sword Art Online world, and then I can bust.
You could bust.
I can bust all day.
I took a picture with Asuna in a wedding dress, and she was beautiful. Welcome back to the Yard, episode 80, 84,
It's our
82.
100th episode.
82.
Well, you guys have an intro,
Otherwise
and it's
known
been.
as CN in Spanish.
We you know, technically you have to have an intro to get nominated for an award
I
for
heard about
podcasts.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have an intro.
None of us got nominated for any.
Yeah.
notable
Do you guys
award.
not have one?
They don't do intros.
You just get right into it.
We do
No,
intros.
we do intros, not scripted, but we say hello, welcome to Trash Taste. But no, we're not on Trash Taste
That's
right
so
now.
weird. Why would that be a requirement?
I don't know. I just heard about it once in a Rooster Teeth podcast, and now I spread that information.
Yeah.
It could be wrong. I spread a lot of
That sounds
misinformation.
Like a rumor, you
It's like
know.
some people watch your podcast and like, I just don't know what it is. If only there was some
Yeah,
kind of
they're
intro
just like
to tell me what it
There's
is about.
40 episodes in, and like, fuck, I wish I knew what I was watching.
What are we-
This would be so cool.
Who are these
Gotta
guys?
be a scripted audiobook.
This is cool. You guys got a Japanese food hole on your
That's
your
not
table.
So you know,
So you
this
can,
is a
like,
carryover from because we had a problem where we couldn't find just a square table.
Yeah.
And
They don't have those.
And so,
No.
as you can tell, this is just two desks
Yeah.
that we've
This
just
is like
put
our-
together.
This is the beds in our hotel. We're staying at a
I gotta put this
hotel,
back. I gotta-
and it's like, well, oh, you don't want any food. I'm not
my-
hungry
that- I
either. I
please
guess
don't.
I'm not hungry either.
That's for the
and,
sponsor.
and it's and it's two beds, and it was like we originally go in there like this is the most big bed I've ever seen. It's actually two connected together secretly, and I was like, is this common? Because it feels like shit in the middle. Do not sleep in the middle.
Yeah, it's very common in Japan. It's very rare that hotels will have double beds.
Yeah.
They're always,
okay.
they're always two
Even
single.
if you're a couple here in Japan, people want to separate the beds. I don't know why.
Right.
Maybe.
we know why.
Yeah, we know why.
Because nobody has sex. Nobody's intimate.
Nobody's fucking?
No, nobody's
Like,
fucking.
no.
Okay, then why am I walking down the streets of Akihabara and they got signs for fucking everywhere?
Well, it's not
For
double
what?
beds.
You're conflating.
Touche.
That's
Touche.
only in like one of those shitty little hot tub pools.
Yeah.
And-
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's kinda nice.
We once went on a camping trip, and there was this couple that went there on this camping trip. They had apparently used all their weekend just for this one camping trip, and they sat on two opposite sides of the camp, just not interacting with each other at all.
And then they go back and they're like, we had a great time.
I've never felt more close
basically.
to you.
We got a lot closer. Wow. Well, anyway, we are on the Trash Taste set, but this is
yeah.
the Yard, episode 82. We're with Garnt and Connor. No Joey, because he could not make it.
Yes.
And we will be cycling in the other Yard guys occasionally. So if that happens, don't freak out if you hear a different voice. We just swapped.
we
But
tag
Do we need
out.
to intro every time someone else?
no,
swaps in?
we'll just swap it without introing.
Are you guys keeping time,
But we
by
have
the way?
Aiden and Nick in a
Holy
cage
shit.
over there. They're in a cage.
Yeah.
And we'll release them
They're,
occasionally.
they're actually, it's hanging, it's a go-go dancer cage, and they're
Yeah.
gonna be so sweaty.
Yeah, like in Star Wars, and they're just doing sexy dances.
Yeah. And you looking good,
carryover from the old
Aiden.
studio.
You look good.
You look good. You look real hot.
Okay, there
Oh,
he goes.
wow.
He's
Oh.
taking it off.
Wow.
He's taking off his
Thank
shirt.
God the camera's pointing at that.
Um,
Are you guys liking Japan so far?
I am,
Yeah.
but I have beef with you.
Reserved.
Why beef with me specifically?
I got beef with you.
Why?
I got a problem with you.
I also have beef with you because I'm with him, so I unfortunately
Okay,
have
right,
beef with
right.
you.
What
It's
did
nice
I-
to see you again.
It is nice to see
I
you
have
again.
so much beef with you, though. So shut the fuck
Is
up.
it because I'm too helpful and I've been helping you?
You've been actually a massive help. You've guided me around to amazing spots. You've hooked me up in ways that I could only bow like Slime does at a 7-Eleven when he gets a coffee in the
I
morning.
hate this meme.
It's not a meme. But you, when we went to Akihabara yesterday, said you have to go to a specific spot called the Culture Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my downstairs. Go ahead.
What the fuck was that about? Because we walk into that place and we're walking around and it's a lot of figures, and then we see this aisle with curtains and we're like, dude, that's gonna be so sick. They have a cool secret section. And we walk in, and Connor, I shit you not, I saw a sea of children Tom Brady would love to kiss naked.
Wow.
Just naked. What is that?
Well, okay, so there are scarcely places in Akihabara that have, I want to say, everything that encapsulates the area.
Yeah.
And that building has a little bit of everything for everyone. Some of the
they even
little
covered
bit for everyone.
EDP 445.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the other everyone. More often than we are too.
Okay.
I'm kind of
Right, yeah.
I'm done with that thing.
Everyone.
No, I obviously don't partake in those sections. But
Why are you saying it like you do?
I
secretly?
thought that maybe, as a tourist, you might want to see the kind of weird stuff that goes on.
I ran into like what I can only imagine is a Japanese high schooler there, and we locked eyes.
Wait, he shouldn't have been in that section.
And I was like, bro, you gotta stop coming here.
You're trying to shake it like, please, just go live a normal life.
I got to ask, how long did you spend in there?
So I won't leak who, but somebody in the group. So we're in there for like a couple minutes, and we're all in there. We're laughing. We're like, this is ridiculous. And then someone finds something crazy. We're like, that's ridiculous. And like the way porn works is that they blur the nipples in the vagina.
Yeah.
But buttholes are fair game.
Yeah.
So some are just like wide open buttholes with just cum falling out like a waterfall.
Dude, oh my God.
And I'm like, that's a crazy thing.
I was not with them, by the way. I don't have beef with you after
Oh, okay,
hearing
okay.
this.
Well,
yeah, I
that's
think
great.
you're great.
Oh, thank you.
And you're weird.
Oh. And so somebody from our group, in the absurdity of it, they're like, oh, because it's the craziest one. They take a picture of it, and I'm like, that's a bad idea. You are just taking pictures of child porn.
I saw, yeah. I would get it off your phone.
You gotta get that off your phone.
Oh,
it is drawn.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah, it is drawn. It is
an anime store.
Yes, yeah.
It has everything an anime fan might want.
So
they had a curtain in that curtain section that I didn't dare go in.
So to translate for everyone who's not knowledgeable about Japanese and anime culture, they went to the doujinshi section, which is the part where you get a lot of fan-drawn like books and art.
Yeah, dude, I thought doujinshi was chill because I used to like jerk off to Naruto doujinshi because it would be that one lady.
Wait,
What's
don't
up?
Say that.
What's up?
You just
Okay,
said.
well,
right? Like that's bad.
No,
to
that's
say.
chill. That's chill, right? Naruto doujinshi chill.
I wouldn't personally, but
he hasn't even seen Naruto, so he has no horse in this race.
You got no skin in the game, bro.
well, okay, so I think maybe doujins back then were more chill, but I think definitely over the past 5-10 years they've gotten progressively more intense.
It doesn't have to be like child-looking characters. It could just be adults, right?
Well, most of it's adults, but there unfortunately is a lot of child stuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of that is centered in Akihabara.
Right.
Don't ask me why. I mean, we all know why, but don't ask me
you
why.
You kind of realize when you're in Japan long enough, you're like, so what's with that? What's up with all that kid stuff?
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's very odd, and a lot of people online like to be like, it's just a different culture, you don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's still okay to think it's weird.
No, 100%. 100%.
You know,
it is weird because the main question is who does this appeal to? And when you find out that answer, you're like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's never like a good there can't be a good answer to that.
Yeah.
No. And like you went to like the culture zone, which is like Connor said.
It's literally
like,
called the culture
in the culture zone.
Yeah.
Officer, I'm just cultured, okay?
Officer, it was in the culture zone actually.
Culture falling out of my pockets, culture all over. Oh,
But
God.
I mean, there are some stores that are literally like 7 stories high.
I should take him to the porn store.
Yeah, the porn store, it literally 7 stories high. You saw that like that one guarded section. Imagine that and extrapolate that to like 7 stories. And it's just if you thought some of the things you found out in there were like messed up, there are some you haven't even seen like the sex toy sections.
So you know those I did a video where we bought each other a $500 box, right? And I try to get him as much messed up stuff that you could show on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's this one store where they sell all the types of different sprays. And I got you like the only ones that you could show, which is like 2 out of like 30.
Yeah.
Where it was like armpit of an office worker. But it gets progressively a lot worse.
Dude, get me in the lab with the scientist who's like, all right, this is office worker sweat.
Yeah.
Versus like Uber driver.
The meme with the template of the dude looking at the sign. He's like, yes, finally I perfected the send. But that was in the store, and that was in the section that was the tame section. There was more often than not worse section.
What would the worst scent be?
Okay.
They're like
I have
afraid to
actually
say.
been there because my wife has, let's say, reviewed a lot of the scents.
She's the degenerate queen.
She's the degenerate queen. I would say the worst scent I have ever smelled is probably foot fungus. They made a foot fungus scent.
And that's like a fetish.
God.
Yeah,
Dude.
and that's like cheesy feet smell.
Yeah.
And they somehow recreated this in the lab, and it's literally just like the Walter White meme of just like creating the worst smell humanly possible.
It's nasty.
It is nasty.
They are pretty welcoming to fetishes and willing to cater to them here.
Yeah.
Which is pretty intense.
But
Which
they
kind of goes against a lot of things.
Don't sleep on the same side of a campground.
Yeah.
That's an interesting like juxtaposition, I guess. I don't know. Look,
It's weird. It's weird.
I have 2,000 calories of McDonald's in me, so anything you say, it's cool, man. I don't know.
What does that mean?
what I'm saying, I might as well be drunk right now.
Officer, I wasn't in the culture zone. I just didn't know what was happening.
Officer, I had so much McDonald's, I don't even know where I am, bro.
What?
Yeah, I said what I said, bro.
I had a fuck up.
Okay.
All right.
I had a culture difference fuck up.
Okay.
So like most of, I think,
Like actual culture and not like the culture.
no, God, no.
It was porn.
No. Like I think most of the culture is very easy to catch on because everybody follows like a lot of like the rules, like the
For sure,
unwritten
yeah,
rules
for sure.
of like, okay, you walk on the left side of the street, escalators, you stand on the left, walk on the right.
Yeah.
Like, all that I'm kind of picking up on, and that's easy enough. But the one thing I wasn't prepared for is I have a coffee shop I've been going to.
Okay.
And I like this coffee shop because the lady who works there speaks English. English Jozu. And so I went in there and I was so nervous and I was like, espresso? And she's like,
Why do you say it like Italian? Espresso.
no, wait, how do you say it? You say it.
All right, espresso.
No.
Archie, play it back. Espresso.
Espresso.
Archie, play it
He
back.
put an
No, no.
extra
No,
vowel
no.
in front of the vowel.
Okay, how
in
do
the
you say
beginning.
cappuccino? How do you say that? You want a cappuccino?
Yeah.
Cappuccino.
That's pretty. That's not bad. Yeah.
Kiku.
Kiku. Kiku.
Isn't that the one that means this?
No.
No. Caught it.
See, this is
You've been
this
basically
is a
saying,
struggle.
listen.
Ano
Like that.
cappuccino.
Why'd you go Italian?
Yeah. Do
I
you
think
think you're in Italy? Is that what's been going on?
I've been trying to get a Vespa.
Carry on.
So I'm at this coffee place and I go there every day. And I had like a really cute interaction one of the days where like the daughter of the one who works there was like talking to her mom and they were like, oh, we just went to LA. I was like, cool, where'd you go? She's like, Disneyland. I was like, Disneyland, that's sick. My girlfriend used to work there. She was a princess. And then the mom told the daughter and she was like, and she looked at me and she was like, that makes you a prince. And then she came up and she gave me a little gift of cookies.
Yeah.
And it was very sweet, very sweet.
Yeah.
And then I go in the next day and we have like a rapport at this point. And at the end, I just finished my coffee. We had a great chat. I'm about to leave. She goes, do you like snacks? And I go, no, I hate snacks, bro. I get super fat. I don't eat snacks. And then she just looks really sad and she goes, got you these snacks. I was like, why do you have gifts on deck for me?
Why? What do you think? Why do you think she was asking you that?
I thought it was like conversation.
Like, wait, this
She
is a
was
little
just-
kid?
She was obviously going to
This no, it's like the woman who owns it.
Oh,
She-
yeah. Wow.
What do you think? She like went home and stomped that cookie as well? Like,
Yeah.
Threw it in the
She gave it to me. I was like, but these snacks. Like, bro, thank God.
I bet she was like up all night being like, I'm going to give him the snacks and he's going to love it, man. He's going to love it.
She went out of her way to think about you.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I feel like a
You
piece of shit.
all over it.
Do I get gifts back?
You can do that.
What do you give like a 40-year-old coffee barista?
Well, listen,
liquor.
Do you actually want to get her like a present?
Should I?
No, you don't. Of course you don't.
She keeps giving me shit.
She's just being friendly. She'll just
Okay,
come back. There's
all
like,
right.
in Japan, I'm sure you noticed this, right? There's a lot of they really like a lot of local chains or local like cafes or bars. They just build up rapport and expecting you to come back a lot.
Oh, so it's for your
common.
business.
Yeah, like you have your spot.
So it happens to you. Does this happen to you guys?
Yeah, I have my spot. There's
The way you just said, oh, it's just for business. It's not me. It's not me, right?
It's also like it's nice to see. Like I imagine if you're a business owner, you see the same.
I thought it was like my company.
So American, you're like to make money.
Well, okay, you know me because when we hung out in LA, if I go to a place, I like tipping.
It's, tipping, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say he has a thing where it's like I know a spot, I know a guy, and it's like a fucking chain. and it's
called
like
Panera Bread.
Yeah,
Yo, but hey, I did find a spot here. Y'all heard of Coco Curry?
yeah.
They have that in LA.
Ichiran Ramen.
Oh my god.
Yo.
All right, okay, go. All right.
So I like tipping a lot, but you can't do it here.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, here
Well,
it's
yeah.
it's like they don't try for the tips. They try to get you like a regular customer. So like a lot of people in Japan, they don't like to try new things a lot of the times. They like the comfort of coming back to the place and seeing a familiar face. You know,
You can buy gifts though.
you can.
Okay.
When we went out to Golden Guy, I was like, hey, if you want to tip her, you have to buy her a drink.
Right.
Which is kind of sucks because it's like instead of getting just a monetary amount that you can spend anywhere universally, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I just have to get liver cancer.
Yeah, you have to damage yourself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
like the loophole. You can't tip them with money, but you can buy them gifts, right? Which they
Interesting.
can exchange for money.
Yeah, and often they're not, because in Japan, right, it's like you don't know what the person likes, maybe they like dojin cheese, which you could get them. Risky move. Risky
I get
play.
like 10 of them.
I'm not going there anymore.
Oh, well, most of the time people just get like fruit or famous snacks from a local area. Or
Yeah,
even
have you
sprinkles
noticed how expensive fruit is here?
Yeah, you kind of get
Yeah.
fruit's a big one.
Why? Why don't they mass produce it with cheaper labor in foreign countries?
Excuse me, it's
yeah.
an artisan culture, actually. The fruit.
You watch a video about
Yeah.
like Tanaka who massages the melon every night before bed. And that's why it's worth.
I literally saw this video where
I'm being condescending, but more often than not, there's so much like extra work.
that,
It's-
that
love you
actually
being-
happens
You
though.
guys being so jaded, you see shit like that, and you're like, "Fuck's sake, like, come on."
I'm a hater. I'm a hater on it
I
too.
mean, it's a fucking melon. I saw this one video of this melon farmer who obviously loves his craft, but he put like newspaper wrappings around this melon so that the cracking on the melon was aesthetic. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit about the cracking of the melon. Like, just make sure
Well,
it
it was
tastes
the
good.
$40 strawberries you guys had, and they were, and immediately you asked, "Were they worth it?" And they were like, "No."
No, but it's like the cheap because everyone knows how expensive fruit is, right? So if you don't want to get someone, you just get them fruit. Because it's like, all right, you have to, it's fruit.
It's
You
meaningful.
probably like it.
Yeah.
And it shows that like I thought about something. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think when you live here for a while, you do become jaded to this kind of stuff because you're kind of like, well, I just wanted an apple. Like I just wanted an melon. Like I didn't want the only option to be like a dude with a story.
Yeah.
And I get that that's impressive and that's cool and it's nice people are willing to go through that. But also I just want the fruit.
Yeah.
Well, I have a hypothetical for you guys. All right,
Okay.
as residents of Japan, I want to run through a scenario. I'm on a train.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I am a foreigner.
There's already where like 15
Okay.
taboos can be.
I'm wearing an all-white overalls suit because I'm a painter. That's cool, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
That's cool. No,
Why would
Do
you?
you think it's cool?
that he's painting. Do you think it's cool?
You're painting?
That you're
Yeah,
painting
that
or you're
I'm
wearing
painting.
white
I'm
overalls?
I guess like, do you
yeah.
respect blue
You're
collar
indifferent.
workers?
I'm indifferent.
That's hurtful.
I mean, I don't mind what your occupation is, man. As long as you're chill. That's,
It's giving nepo baby.
Yeah,
Right.
not a warm atmosphere. Okay, but I'm on the train. I shit my pants. Okay.
What?
I shit all
Is
over
this
myself.
a hypothetical?
Absolutely hypothetical.
Okay, just wait.
I need help, and I'm just like, "Rah!" and I'm shitting my pants. What happens on that crowded train? Do people try to help me?
Absolutely not.
no. People will call someone.
No, they won't. They won't. They will.
What happens?
Wait.
They
What
will
do you
just
think happens
watch.
in America?
I mean, if I'm like, help me, I've shit my pants.
They don't help you.
You're gonna
I
be on,
think
you'll be
no.
on TikTok within an hour, and you will be going viral.
I genuinely think someone on the light rail in Los Angeles would be like, "Come on up, soldier."
No, they wouldn't. What do you think? What do you think they do? They slowly take off your straps and they'd be like, "Let me see that ass. Let me get in there."
They'd help you, and then they'd pull out the tablet and be like, "How much are you gonna tip?"
Yeah,
okay.
they turn it around. But what happens in that scenario?
People will just do nothing.
Like would they try to ignore it?
Yeah,
Probably as
100%.
much as possible.
100%.
Unless it's rare to get a Japanese Karen or something. If someone sticks out here, people
happen,
just try to ignore that person as much as possible, even if that person is in your face, and then they'll just complain about it afterwards.
You tell me about the phrase.
What phrase?
A nail that sticks out is the one that's first
yeah.
struck.
Yeah. The nail that sticks out is the first one that struck back in.
Other countries have this as well. Like I think Australia has one that's like the poppy that grows too tall gets cut or
Tall
something.
poppy
So,
syndrome,
yeah,
and that allows you to roast your friends for being successful.
Yeah, well,
What are you pointing at me? You're not Australian. This is not relevant to you.
Oh, I'm not, am I? Dude, the episode you came on and did with us, people were mad that I did the such bad accents.
it was fucking awful. It was terrible.
Oh, wait, I haven't heard this accent.
No,
Go on,
no,
let's hear it. Let's hear
I
it.
learned
Let's
my
hear it.
lesson. No, I learned my lesson.
Hey, that
Don't
video,
worry, just bow afterwards and it'll be okay.
that video got 1 million views, so you did something right.
That episode with you on it is our first 1 million view episode.
Oh, it's shit, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pony up again. Pony up again, guys. Come on. Cough it up.
I made the yard.
You can say that. You can say that.
Well, now you're filming in like the Trash Day
Yeah.
studio, so eventually it will just be like me, Joey, and Connor, and we'll just like take over your channel. and then the transformation will be complete.
You're like, I like this new set.
Yeah, you replace us all except Aiden, who's just still there. He's like, yeah.
I like that.
No, I haven't watched anime. like, at all.
Just like Jerry.
Yeah. Just like you.
I watched a little bit.
You're getting back into it?
A little bit. Yeah, but so I've seen some Karens on trains, but normally everyone just does their best to ignore it.
Yeah.
How long have
Literally.
you guys lived here?
3 years.
Yeah, covered 3.5 years now.
That's it?
Coming on 4 years. That's it. What do you mean that's it? That's a long time.
It's crazy because you see people online that like, dude, I'm just gonna like study for like 2-3 weeks and I'll be comfortable. And it's like, man, I was here for 8 months until I felt like I could order a coffee without shitting myself.
You know, it's super stressful to do any activity here, with the exception of drinking alcohol. That's it.
Well, that is one thing that everyone does here.
Yeah.
And also, you probably realize that it's really fucking hard to stay at like there's this conception that Japan is really easy to stay healthy. It's so fucking hard because everyone drinks.
Yep.
The food is way more like greasy and calorific than you realize. You're eating rice all the time.
Yeah, rice isn't
there's
great for
and there's loads of like fried stuff. It's a lot. And especially with the drinking. The drinking is the hardest.
You were saying you gained weight here.
Because when we went on tour in America, I'd like lost weight. We all lost weight somehow, all three of us. And then I was back in Japan and I'd weighed myself like yesterday, and I had gained like 3 kilos after moving back to Japan. So I lost weight in America.
America number one.
And I gained weight.
We're back. We're back, baby.
Because like also in America, almost everything has like calories on it. Like calorie. It tells
Legally,
you.
they have to in most
that's
places.
so helpful in Japan. It's like, dude, just
do you know what's
figure it out.
Do you know what's like OP? It's not just the calorie thing. White Claw. Like you can't get White Claw here in Japan. Honestly, because if I could get drunk on White Claw here, that just removes half the calorie intake that I could like possibly get.
Yeah.
And like White Claw is just like normalized in America.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna come back 5 pounds heavier because I end every night with at least one drink in Golden Guy. I love that place.
Every night.
Wait, how many times have you gone to Golden Guy?
What's up? I've only gone twice.
Oh, okay,
I had an
okay.
awkward experience the last time I went.
All right, what was it?
It was so we were at this bar. It was great vibes.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
It was great vibes. I was getting the barkeep drinks. He gave us free tequila shots. It was like 4 of us. And it was a great night. And at one point he's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, YouTuber. And he's like, And says, "What's the channel name?" And I'm like, "Ludwig." So he looks it up on his phone, and then he pulls up a recent VOD.
Oh, I saw this your story.
He happens to have like a TV that's for karaoke that shows what is like on his phone.
Right.
And he put on the top VOD, which right now is a mogul mail that I recently uploaded about a bit of an awkward situation.
Oh, he just starts playing that,
And he just rips it, and we all are immediately like, oh no. But like he in his head is like,
This guy?
yeah, babe. He's like, he's getting embarrassed. But I'm like, not for the right. and I have to like pivot. I'm trying to figure out how to like contextualize this to this Japanese guy who doesn't know any American YouTube. I'm like, karaoke? And he's like, yeah. So we just pivot to karaoke, sing Stay With Me.
It's good, right?
That's good.
Was there anyone else in the bar, or was it just you guys?
It was, we had 4 of us, and then there was like his friend. I feel like a lot of the places in Golden Guy, like maybe a friend will just hang out with the barkeep.
Yeah.
And then this Italian Air Force dude who's pretty tight.
Cool.
Yeah, because like I always wonder how a lot of these bars in Golden Guy stay in business, because a lot of bars in Golden Guy is just one single room, and it's fucking tiny. And you know what's most amazing? No matter how tiny the bar is, they will find a way to put a toilet in there somewhere.
Yes.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
It's like incredible.
Well, I know how they say in business, they're fucking gouging foreigners.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I walked into a spot and we sit down. They're like, cover charge. I'm like, great. And they're like, for each of you. I'm like, dope. It's like 1,000 yen. I'm like,
Yeah, it's pretty common.
Yeah, it was a lot of
and
money.
then each drink was also 1,000 yen. I think we spent $50 in 5 minutes at that bar.
No, it was like 7,000 yen. Or
Yeah,
something.
there are
yeah.
some bars that will appeal more to foreigners because they'll have a lot of English stuff, but then they'll also charge more.
Right.
A lot of the bars that don't have anything will charge less than that. And a lot of them don't do cover charge. But normally the ones that are trying to get tourists charge a fuck ton because they know people are willing to spend.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do when a small Japanese lady hands you like a giant bill? You're like, Pay it.
Yeah, kind of have
Did
to.
you guys move here not knowing a lot of Japanese, or did you study
zero.
before?
We didn't know any Japanese.
Really?
moving
Just
here.
ripped it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Honestly, best way to learn is go to Golden Guy. get pissed drunk.
That's my
and then,
school, bro.
Yeah.
No, genuinely, like that's how I learned most of my speaking. Was just
Mango,
going there
mango.
and getting drunk.
Yeah.
I pretty talk like a toddler, which I do. But you know, I get the job done.
You speak pretty well, at least I think.
Oh well.
As
Yeah, like you can tell.
It helps you don't know anything.
Yeah.
when I travel with him, he's like he never chokes a situation. It's not, they never say something. He's like, like you seem to be able to navigate pretty much every like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, if they say something I don't know, and then if someone will be like, "Do you understand that?" I'll be like,
but you just ride it out.
because a lot of the
Then you get
times
there.
in Japan, they just talk a lot, and the main point is like 1% of what they said. But there's
It's like word
so
problems
much
in grade
fluff.
school.
Yeah, and so a lot of the times you just listen out for like keywords, or you can kind of, if you don't get it, you just ask a question that kind of maybe gives you an answer more to what they're trying to say. Obviously, you could just also just learn more Japanese. Which
Yeah,
I
that's
should do.
that's the right thing to do, but we don't do that. We just go by like the dialogue tree option, whereas you listen for certain words and via the context, you kind of like open up your dialogue tree of like common Japanese phrases, because like a lot of Japanese conversations, especially if you're in the service industry, they all say the same shit, just using different words, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you just chill out, you can probably figure out what they're trying to ask you. And so, you just work through it. It's pretty chill. I don't, the only things I don't really do in Japan is like taxes and go into the government hall, but I don't do that. I don't do that in English.
I don't do that in America, right? Come on. Hey, me and you both, brother. Goddamn. That's a real patriot.
Well, if you're watching this, we are in Nippon, and our plan to have blunderbusses has not worked out. You always freak out when I say blunderbuss, and you shouldn't, because it can mean anything. Maybe it's my gamer tag, but that's not to say we have to pay the bills while we're in Japan, taking it all back. Brilliant.org has thousands of lessons, Aiden. I need you to be present for this, okay? You keep freaking out all the time.
We're not going to take it.
It's the best way to learn math, science, computer science interactively. Learning a little bit every day can have a huge impact. Haven't you learned?
And geopolitics. And geopolitics that...
And sovereign nations.
Brilliant.org will tell you can't take your liberty with you on the plane. But you can't learn a little every day.
Go to brilliant.org/the yard. The first 200 people who sign up get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. All right, and we're gonna do a little
taking anything back.
We're gonna do an exercise where we'll show you exactly what we mean. This is knowledge and uncertainty, because it's not certain, Aiden, that we're gonna end up back home.
I'm certain that we will arrive and leave with nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, let's see then. How about we do logic?
Yeah.
Because it's very logical, Aiden, to assume that we will not make it back home. On certain islands, there are two types of islanders: knights who always tell the truth, and knaves who always lie. That's like you. You meet two islanders named Aditya and Bowie.
You've been stealing my mail.
Aditya says Bowie is a knight and I am a knight, and Bowie says Aditya is a knave or I am a knave. I think it's number...
Bowie is a knight.
You
Yeah,
think Bowie's a knight?
Aditya is the knave, and Bowie is the knight. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the that happens when you use brilliant.org.
On the same island, you find three friends named Channing, Daja, and Ira.
Irish. She's Irish.
Channing says exactly 2 of us are knights.
She's a Gaelic
Daja,
broad.
Ira, and myself are knights. Ira says Channing or Daja is a knave.
Channing's type is unknown without
Channing a
further
knight?
information.
Is
That's
Channing
such a
knight
mix-up
or
that
knave? I don't think is that the answer?
That's such a mix-up that it's got to be it. 'Cause that's like, yeah, let's go.
Nice.
Don't you get it?
Look, I don't feel like you're talking about the puzzles when you say that.
No, you understand.
Can we go to the next question?
Our lives are going to be different.
Now,
from
you came
here
across
on
2
out.
more friends named Fiad and Greg, but only Fiad says anything. Fiad says, if I'm a knight, Greg is a knave. There isn't enough information to be certain.
No, you're stupid. Greg is a knave. Because you know what? Because I believe
There
people.
isn't enough information.
Believe
there
women.
isn't enough
Believe
information.
Women.
Is Zipper correct?
Let's go! All right, guys. That's the kind of hot brain action
why
that
am I
you
wrong?
get.
Now I want to keep playing.
Anyway, thanks so much. We're gonna get back to the episode, and
We're
remember,
gonna get back to the episode and back home.
Not certain.
And back. That is certain.
There
will be more episodes
There's
because we
no
will make
indication
them
that we
when
will
we
make
get
it
home.
back home.
I don't. You're so insistent. You will.
Who knows? Who's to say?
I say.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Nick, how you doing?
Hey.
You guys, so I noticed you don't have the heater on your bidet on. Is that like a funny prank you're doing on me, or
Wait, what?
like the seat's not warm? It's like a cold.
Which one? Upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
Wait, what? It should be.
It's like a sexual thing you're doing, or what is it?
Who turned it off? Who turned it off?
It must be on.
It's kind of a
Bit of an energy saver
It's the
situation.
Swipe Deluxe just doesn't work.
Okay, what we're slandering?
Has Ludwig turned you on bidets even before coming to
Oh
Japan?
my god,
then?
it's the single most useful
It's so
addition to
good.
my life that he has provided. It's probably the only value to my life he has provided.
Dude, I've given you like so many amazing gifts,
It's
and
like
you still talk about the bidet
only
gift.
thing that like he has provided.
It's
to my
good.
life.
Yeah.
When you adopt it changes
Yeah.
your life.
I'm trying to switch America, but man, are they real prude about their buttholes.
I think it's also just a pain in the ass to install a bidet.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying. I have done it
Yeah.
worse more times than I've done it well.
If there was like an Uber service where you could just pay a dude to turn up.
There is.
Amazon has that.
It's literally
You
called a
prime
plumber,
order
but
with
don't-
installation.
It needs to be like approachable. No one wants to call a plumber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
It also this is like for Americans, it converts you to a sitter when you
Oh.
pee.
Yeah, I'm a sitter now all the way.
Yeah, which I think I spend more time in the bathroom now, which is
I like that.
It's great.
it's good for me. I don't think it's good for like my productivity or anything, but I like it. Of course, I love it.
It's fine.
A bathroom is a sanctuary, man. You should spend more time there. Honestly,
Honestly.
I would not have a YouTube career if I could not spend time just sitting on the shitter, because that's where most of my ideas come from, actually.
I like that here they have the distraction button. You can press
Oh,
it.
yeah, you played that?
I wish
Those
it would play
noises?
like Waka Flocka or something. That'd be tight as fuck.
Wait, what does the distraction button do?
It just goes like, and like no one can hear you shitting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But if it just
Only
played
like
like trap
birds.
music,
Just goes.
it auto-tunes the sounds that you make
Yeah.
when you shit.
reverb.
But it's weird because it's like I feel like if you play it, you're almost drawing more attention to yourself that you're shitting.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I feel like it's so counterintuitive.
I put down a high score in the mall we were at, and I couldn't believe there was a bidet in there. I was like, oh my god, there's bidets everywhere. It's so fucking tight. So I sit down, and I'm like, I should use the button. But I'm like, wait, then everyone knows I'm shitting.
Yeah, everyone knows.
So I just tried to have the quietest shit I could.
You can't do that. You got big
That's what
dunkers,
I'm
bro.
saying. I was fucking biting my fist.
What are you fighting your fist when you go,
I might come. I don't want to hear
What,
the fun.
okay.
Yeah, they got a button for that.
Yeah.
Have you found one with the it's like rare, but some of them have dryers.
Oh, we have one in our house.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really do a good
No, it's
job.
don't use the dryer
It takes
if you're at home.
fucking minutes and your
I like
asshole's
to believe
warm.
the dryer does a good job.
I don't like doing dryers with my hands. Why would I use it for my butthole?
What does that mean? You don't
Like the hand dryer
What do
as
you
opposed
prefer,
to
you prefer
paper towel.
paper?
Yeah.
I think if they had like a Dyson Airblade and like,
And it's just like
ass cheek.
it's like just a hole size, like it's a pin.
Yeah. Like the bidet, and it'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
Did you know that? It'll go back.
Oh,
and forth.
oscillating?
Yeah. Press it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the Toto one. Yeah.
Bro,
They should put
we
like
go
a
nuts.
jet engine in there. So like when you
Yeah.
shit, it just disintegrates it, but then you can reverse the engine and it'll blow.
Like a garbage disposal.
Yeah,
for
it'll
shits.
like dry you after. So it does both.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say send the shit up.
It'll only send you back the nutrients you need.
Yeah. No drop wasted. I got heavily addicted to an arcade game last night.
Oh, you did. You did. It was the worst arcade game you could have possibly chosen.
Dude,
He was in the coin juice. It was awesome.
I'm a vibes guy, but I killed the vibes. Yeah, Garn, I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, so we went into the arcade machine, and normally when you go into a Japanese arcade, people, they play like the rhythm games or one of like the cool kind of like battle royales. First thing Ludwig does is just go straight to the horse betting machine. Like
Oh my God,
that's
you're
the
so-
first thing he does.
Didn't you do a video being like, I am a gambling addict. I'm trying to better. And then you go straight for the gambling machine. And the worst kind of gambling, virtual horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they were real.
Yeah, so
Why the fuck would you want them to be virtual? I don't
He's
understand.
LARPing being a real man. He's just practicing.
So to preface, gambling is illegal in Japan. So you
it's
can't.
Like, it's like the biggest asterisk ever.
Yeah. Gambling is illegal, but
Yeah,
in
same
this
with child
place-
porn.
Yeah.
Both illegal here.
Yeah, both illegal. But in this one place we went to, you could not win anything. The only thing you could possibly win is more tokens, which Ludwig exchanged like $30 worth of tokens, which I think is more than anyone's ever exchanged in this one.
I accidentally went to a machine that was like mass transfer. Like there's normal machines, it's like, put in $100, and then there's one that's like, it's minimum $30. And I went to that one because I didn't know the difference. And so I had just like a shit ton. I had tokens for like a group of school children.
He kept trying to explain to me. He's like, no, you can like exchange the coins. And I'm like, well, what can you exchange them for? He said, well, more coins.
More coins.
Yeah.
The coins allow you to keep playing.
Yeah,
I'm like playing the game that gives you coins.
Are these money coins? Or
No.
their own currency?
These are so he got like big tokens which you could which you could exchange for even like smaller coins which you can use for the machines.
It's a really fun game.
So you transferred your money, which works universally anywhere, for a piece of plastic that only works in this one thing.
Machine, yeah.
They said crypto was crazy.
And it turned to be shit.
Yeah.
Well, this one might not be.
So so after the horse racing machine, he found this new machine, which the gameplay of this machine was how fast can you put the coins into this machine?
Yeah, and see how fast they come out sometimes.
And depending on how fast you put coins into this machine, it shits out more coins. So he's
just gambling.
It's not even gambling because
it was like a laundromat simulator. Like, he was just practicing putting coins in something.
And it's like there is a mechanical level of skill you need to quickly get the coins into a group and then put them in the machine because it has like a slot. And at the start, I was kind of bad, so I hired the help of Garnt and Aaron, and I was like, "You guys get this side, I'll get this side."
Yeah.
I walked up to Aaron at one point, and I'm like, "So how you doing?" He's like, "I have a follower," and he has like a little monster following him in the game. And I'm like, "What's that mean?" He's like, "Well, it gives me the monster, and now he follows me, and he'll always follow me." And I'm like, "Can you take it with you after?" He's like, "No, it's just gonna follow me for now." And I go over to Ludwig. I'm like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I have a follower," and they are not communicating, but they both like individually came to the conclusion that this is valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, so somehow like there was like an RNG mechanic where sometimes you can summon an in-game, like there was a screen where I don't.
It sounds like shit.
It is so shit.
The girl bars where you can like pay for people to hang out with you. It's like the follower kind of keeps you in the machine. It feels like you're on a journey.
At least you get companionship out of that. What do you get out of this?
More coins.
More coins.
Yes, sir.
I think it was like about half an hour into this where we kind of just sat there, like we had this realization of like, why are we playing this? And you were just like, no, dude, you don't understand. You get more coins. And I think Nick asked, so what do you do with the coins? Well, you get to play more. And then after you play more, you get more coins. And sometimes you get like a jackpot where you get like awful.
It was like Parasite, and he's in the basement, and then the camera like goes up through the levels, and we're like sophisticated playing the claw machines.
Yeah.
And we cannot stop winning. We're on the claw section, and what I mean by cannot stop winning is Sydney who speaks Japanese, told the people at Taito to put the toys closer to the edge so that we could win more.
Yeah.
Which they did for us.
Yeah.
So we won a bunch.
Yeah, well, they don't really have the concept of, but people might like just not play it and ask them to move it. So it's kind of a trust thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can just abuse that.
For sure.
Yeah, I realized it was bad because I think I sat there for an hour and a half and they talked about karaoke and going to that 30 minutes in. And then they kept bringing it up and I was so sucked into the machine. And in my mind, I was like, Mom, I can't pause the game. But the game never ends.
And we keep putting more money.
They all walked out and I'm still playing. And it's like, at this point, it's a cutscene because it's just making me money because I've put so many coins in at this point. So I'm just watching the coins fall and I'm just smiling. And then Gart like pokes his head down. He's like, dude. And I was like, yeah, no, my bad.
I saw Garnt looked like genuinely concerned. We're all waiting outside, and he kind of like for a moment's like, I'm gonna go check on him. And he goes back in, and you come out, and you're still talking about the coins. You're like,
I left about.
You're like, oh, I left like 1,500 coins.
I left about 2,000 coins. Somebody came up so big.
The number keeps going up. By the way.
Oh, okay.
It's so many coins.
Can you do something with these coins?
No.
You could smelt the metal and make a sword.
Have you thought about the sword metal?
Yeah.
I think we had just like made a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah.
They said it's not possible. Just put Ludwig in front of one of those
Yes, sir.
machines.
Yes, sir.
It will just go on until the end of the universe.
I am the perpetual motion.
There's a really cool thing that I've always wanted to play. There's like a six-player Mario Party gambling machine. And there's not many of them left. It's pretty old. But I just found it really weird that Nintendo would allow that. But yeah, it's just like Mario Party.
They used to be nuts.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo has a lot of dominance on what they allow here. I was like walking down the street and I
No.
saw Mario and it was like, come into our bank, and it was like a voice bubble. I don't think they signed off on Mario.
No, they did. They for sure. Yeah, for
They
sure.
did.
They're way more lax here, I
Yeah,
think.
it's super.
That's-
They're so much more trusting here of like Japanese brands.
It's like Mario and he's like, read Hello Baby, chapter 3.
Yeah. It is odd how like Nintendo is like a they're like anything Japan related promotion, like fuck it, use Mario, dude, fuck it,
The Pikachu Tango is weird. The Pikachu Tango is a bit weird.
It's like the default missing texture when you don't know, you don't have a graphic for that.
Yeah, but it's kind of strange how they're like really like strict about it abroad, and they don't give it to companies a lot.
Yeah, that's true with a lot of Japanese companies. That I think they're just afraid.
Ava as well.
Ava, yeah.
There's like everything Ava.
As soon as you talk about them using that IP in somewhere abroad, they're like, no, we do not do that. But here in Japan, you can get fucking anime butt
Everything.
plugs.
You can live off Ava, literally. There's Ava food. There's Ava anything of any you would want, like a gambling machine.
It's a video.
Which you would
And I
need.
can get these anywhere?
Someone's
You're
done
saying
that.
these are
Really?
Yeah, someone did a video. Yeah. Anything Ava you can get. Think about it. There's an Ava version of it.
Yeah.
Well, like at the for the joke, like for the butt plug thing, it's like a real thing. It's like
No, you could definitely get an Ava butt.
That there is definitely an Ava butt plug. Or
And it's like
That's like
licensed IP.
Yeah, probably.
That's tight. Okay, I have a question. On not to bring it back. We can just glaze over this question real quick.
All right.
Dojinshis. The question is, are those licensed?
No.
But why are they allowed to be sold at a store?
Okay, so there is there's an unspoken trust system.
Between what parties?
It's because if you were working at like for Ava, you'd have to say you went into that section, so you can't admit it.
Okay, so
I just like happened to be there and like it was like, dude, I actually thought it was like the learning section.
Yeah, so there are certain like kind of like IPs that you will notice get a lot of doujinshis.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that, because there are some IPs that, let's say, are more family friendly, and their companies are much more strict with what they allow as like fan products. But with some doujinshis, some companies know that fan products help push the sales of that certain IP, mostly because their fans are probably horny as fuck. So they know by letting the doujinshi industry exist for their certain IPs that it's gonna like subconsciously push sales. Now, if only they could take this mentality to other aspects of the entertainment industry.
Dude, odd that they let porn be the one thing.
Yeah, it's like the Hassan Industrial Clip Complex.
It's just like Let's Plays, no. But porn, we're gonna allow that.
There's so many IPs that are like, if there was like a big pedophile meetup, they'd have so much to talk about. They would have like, there's so many IPs that they could talk about that they all like.
Yeah, no, it's in Fukuoka. Yeah.
Hey, fuck all this kid stuff. You guys want to go get a drink? Hang out?
I'm gonna get canceled.
Do people get
Welcome to
upset at
Trash
you?
Taste Podcast, everybody.
Yeah, it's a very like weird topic on like, and it's a very heated thing because there's like online there are a bunch of people who are obviously very staunchly against it.
Yeah.
But there are in the anime fandom there are also a lot of people who are they just believe that that drawings shouldn't be considered the same thing and it's different culture, yada yada yada, same kind of thing.
Yeah, I also feel like there's a weird reverence for Japan for people who have not even been to Japan.
Oh, for sure.
Like nobody's like, dude, I hope you don't break the rules in Thailand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody has these like these concerns or like, dude, you can't go to Indonesia and not speak the language. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's Japan. So you better fucking learn some manners.
Right.
Respect the culture.
Yeah, we were.
It's so bizarre.
We did the McDonald's stream and we were eating a mega McMuffin. And we didn't finish it, and they were like, "You can't waste food in Japan." I was like, "What? What do you think that's it's exclusive to Japan?"
No, that's like a world thing.
Yeah. It's like, first of all, anywhere you shouldn't waste food. Second of all, it's a mega McMuffin. All right, cut me a break.
That's so funny. Did someone say that in chat?
Yeah.
Like it's.
They spell waste like your waist as well, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
But I always think when you're in Japan, it's something about like the Japanese culture where everyone's just like so kind of like in their own world that you just don't want to break kind of the system that they have here, right?
It's so funny. Like, I would be against this shit, but it's so popular. I don't want to fit in. It's cool. So.
Everyone wants to fit it.
Yeah. What's the one thing you've been afraid of that you've like really like afraid of like offending Japanese people, or afraid of like not respecting their culture?
I get nervous when I'm on a train when I want to sit down and there's like one seat and it's smushed between like 3 people. and my childbirthing hips are trying to squeeze into it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, I'll just stand, bro.
Or when there's not like an elder in sight, but the priority section is the only one open.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, I want to sit there, but like, am I gonna be a dick for sitting there?
It's okay to sit there as long as if somebody does.
Yeah.
Older does, it's kind of long.
Yeah.
I'll fuck with old people, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've been really nervous about walking around with a beverage in my hand, even if I'm not drinking. Is that fake shit?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Well, I mean, okay, here's one thing I heard because I've heard that it's rude to eat and walk at the same time, right?
I think that became like a whole thing just because nobody does it.
Yeah.
So everyone feels like it's a bad thing, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
You can eat more. Just don't make a fucking mess.
Because like I remember moving to Japan, I remember reading about you can't eat and walk at the same time.
Wait, you're not supposed to.
Apparently,
No, go ahead and tell them. Go ahead, tell them. What do you think?
Gentlemen, you're not supposed to.
Wait. What do you mean you're not supposed to?
Like what you're supposed to do is you get it if you're like at a food stall and then you eat it right next to the food stall and then you put your wrapper in your pocket and then you piece.
Are you talking about just in Japan or in America?
In Nihonga.
No, you don't need to do that.
No, this is beautiful. Yeah.
What?
He's like telling women how tampons work.
They're not Japanese.
Not even. Even Joe. If I called up Joey right now, he'd say the same thing.
He would say like just.
I
just do it, man.
No,
That's my joke. That's my joke. That's my joke. Fuck it, Dave.
Just terrible.
Was fucking terrible.
Why do I sound like someone from Peaky Blinders when you talk?
Because yesterday we were in that shop.
We're doing Connor impression.
We were,